I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herbosa, a little after 2 a.m. and we're tracking the low and severe weather threat that we've been dealing with overnight tonight. And we just had a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for Baldwin County. So a few people are getting woken up by it. So I thought I'd come on for a little bit and talk about what we have going on here. So I'm going to go to the radar first here. And let me get this going here. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. I am also monitoring the comments, by the way. I have the stream pulled up here on my secondary computer. So if you have any weather questions, I'd be glad to answer them in the chat. I'm monitoring the Facebook Live chat there. All right, so a little after, it's 2:07 right now. On this Sunday morning, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for Baldwin County. We just had a pretty hefty downpour that moved through Fairhope. And Audrey in Fairhope, thank you for watching. Yep, you just had a thunderstorm that rolled through. And here's the thing. This warning was issued for the chances of some hail with it. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued earlier on and now continues until 2:45. And some of the details on this warning, severe thunderstorm warning located over Point Clear, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. The hazard is 60 mile per hour winds, which does not look like the most likely threat with this storm. The main threat with this one was hail, and it looks like we have had some hail with this storm. I'm going to check out a couple things here. So this thing continues until 2:45 in the morning. And I'm going to switch products here to our hail detector just to see if we got anything on there. And it does not look like the hail detector grabbed much. Some very small hail likely there with this storm in Fairhope. So this will be on 98, just south of the high school there, close to the middle school where we had some hail possible. And let me try to get my hail size queried up here. Possibly close to 1 inch, and that is why we just had that severe thunderstorm warning that was issued there. So once again, the possibility of some hail in Baldwin County, that's why we're coming to you live, as that is something that is a little bit more impactful than what we have seen so far. The overall look for the entire area, let's kind of reset and get you familiar with what's going on here. We have a low and severe weather threat overnight tonight. And the main threat being gusty winds, but as we've seen with some of the thunderstorms, we could have some small hail. That's why we have this low and severe weather threat at level 1 out of 5, still valid for most of the area. And inland, we have a level 2 out of 5 risk, and that is where we have our tornado watch that is in place. That'll continue for some areas until around 4 a.m., then for eastern portions of our area until around 8 a.m. And overall, not a major issue right now. Most of the storms have stayed below severe limits, except for the one that produced a little bit of larger hail in Baldwin County there. So that's what we're tracking overall. A lot of places dealing with lightning as well, especially in southern Baldwin County, even in northern Baldwin County, just to the east of Bay Minette here, and northeast of Bay Minette, close to the I-65 what are those? The exits, the rest areas. That's what I'm thinking of. The rest areas that are up there on I-65 as you get into Escambia County. So really, that's all we're dealing with, which it is very good that we are having these storms staying below severe limits. Just some heavy rain in spots. No big issues there. Going to southern Baldwin County here, once again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning, area of heavy rain, possibly some small hail, just north of 104, east of 181 in Baldwin County. So 181 stretches, I know the line doesn't go all the way down, but 181 stretches about here. Here's 104. So this is to the north and east of that. And you can see in the darker red colors there, that's the area that could have a little bit of small hail, but does not look very likely. This will continue to move off to the north and east, so places Along 59, like Loxley, could get some heavy downpours, some hail possible. Otherwise, it does not look like this one is doing too much at this time. A little bit of heavy rain in Silver Hill. Same thing along 55 there, up to 59 in Baldwin County. Southern Baldwin County, if you're near Weeks Bay, in Magnolia Springs, some moderate downpours there, no big issues. Some lightning in southern Baldwin County, and that's where stuff maybe is a little bit more active. Thankfully, once again, these storms are below severe limits. Most of them are, the only one being the severe thunderstorm that is warned closer to Silver Hill, and that's the one that has the heaviest rain. Even though there is a wide swath of heavy rain in southern Baldwin County here. You can see places like Orange Beach stretching to Gulf Shores, points north of Orange Beach, the Wharf getting some heavy downpours there along the Foley Beach Express all the way down to the Wharf, some heavy rain there. Points south of Magnolia Springs, Bon Secour Bay, even some heavier rain still in Fort Morgan. Where is this stuff moving? This stuff is moving off to the north. And all these storms that we've had, the models did a really good job at picking up on this. We knew that we would have a development of some thunderstorms ahead of our main line. Our main line still off to our west there, and it's kind of weakening at this point here. Our main line, once again, over here, but we knew we would have a development of storms out in front of the line, and that's exactly what we're seeing. And the good thing is, looks like they're staying mostly below severe limits. Our tornado threat is very, very low, especially areas south of Highway 84. If we go north of Highway 84 and into central Alabama, we do actually have some areas that have had tornado warnings. One as you get closer into Georgia. That one's been around for a little while. We had likely a brief spin-up tornado in Birmingham. We had plenty of reports of damage in Birmingham from the line that you see that's now in eastern Alabama. That passed through Birmingham not too long ago. And with that line, we had likely some damage with it as it passed through Birmingham, but now no issues there as the line is off to the east. Heading back down to our area, once again, southern Baldwin County is the only place really dealing with issues in terms of heavy rain. We have that one severe thunderstorm warning that continues, potential for some hail with that one. Otherwise, a calm night so far with no major warnings. I'm going to check in with the National Weather Service in Mobile here, see what they're thinking about. I've got a couple things pulled up here on my secondary computers just to keep track of everything. But once again, severe thunderstorm warning continues till about 2:45 for Baldwin County. Places along 59 up to Interstate 10. Baldwin Beach Express, the Baldwin Beach Express Interstate 10 interchange there where the Buc-ee's is. They'll be getting some heavier rain soon. Once again, this thunderstorm moving off to the north and east at around 40 miles per hour. So they're moving at a decent clip, not too fast, not too slow, and something that we're just keeping an eye on as we go through the evening. I'm going to loop this very briefly, and I'm kind of multitasking here, so bear with me. It is also 2:15 in the morning, so we are doing a lovely morning for us here. All right. So once again, you can see the storms in motion now, see where they're tracking. A heavier core of heavy rain now moving into Loxley. It's going to cross I-10 soon, then go into kind of the more forested areas of Baldwin County north of I-10, and then eventually reaching the Gateswood community. More strong thunderstorms to our south here in southern Baldwin County, Foley, pretty much south of 98, Gulf Shores all the way to Grand Bay, dealing with some thunderstorms there, but no big issues overall. And checking in with the National Weather Service, They originally issued a special weather statement for this one, but now they went with that severe thunderstorm warning when we had the indication of some hail. And I'm going to take a peek up to our north. If you are in Clark County right now, you do have a potent thunderstorm that came through, and I'm going to back this up for a second because we have a report of a tree and power line down Church Street at Grove Hill. I want to back the radar up a little bit, if it'll let me back it up, just so I can see what came through Grove Hill there. And it looks like we had a bit of a thunderstorm, possibly some gusty winds there. Now most of the stuff is east of Jackson in Clark County. That's some of the heavier thunderstorms there. Some heavier lightning there, possibly some small hail with those thunderstorms there. If you're in Escambia County in Alabama, in Atmore, Porch Creek, just south of Huxford along 21 and along I-65. We have a few thunderstorms there below severe limits, but definitely producing some heavy rain and some lightning. Our severe warned storm now in Loxley, right over Loxley. The possibility of some small hail associated with this one. It's going to continue to move off to the north, so Baldwin Beach Express areas near the Buc-ee's next in line for the strongest part of that storm. Heading down 59. We run once again into some heavy rain near Foley, the Tanger Outlets, the OWA, you have Foley High School, all the way down to the airport in Gulf Shores. Heavy rain there. And then heavy rain offshore here in Bon Secour Bay. And thankfully, these storms have stayed below severe limits and no issues in terms of rotation that we've seen so far, which is a good thing to see. All right, that was the note from the National Weather Service, some issues in Grove Hill with a tree and power line down on Church Street in Grove Hill. Otherwise, we have not had very many damage reports. That's because the storms have once again stayed below severe limits for the most part. And checking in with the latest, looks like we're just continuing with what we have. No big issues here. Once again, we thank you for joining us. I know it's a bit of a rowdy night for some of us here in the FOX10 viewing area as these thunderstorms are out there. I mean, it is 2:19 and we have 150 people on the Facebook live stream. Thank you so much for joining in with us. We've been trying to keep track of this. Now, here's the good thing. Recent trends on the radar, and I'm going to kind of make the loop a little bit longer for us so we can kind of get perspective. You can see that line of thunderstorms off to our west. So places like Greene County, Mississippi, Washington County, Clark County. All points to our west here. That line, notice the colors have gotten lighter. We've gotten towards the yellows and greens instead of the reds. That means that main line is now weakening, and that's a good thing, because that means we have less to deal with as this line pushes through. We do have those thunderstorms ahead of the line that we're tracking. Some of those have become more robust. Places like Pensacola now are going to have to start dealing with heavier rain as well. So once again, to kind of give you perspective, we have thunderstorms ahead of our main line, and I'll draw this out for you. The main line is back here, but we have some thunderstorms ahead of the main line. These thunderstorms ahead of the main line seem to be the stronger ones right now. And those are the ones producing the most lightning, the most heavy rain. The main line itself, back in Mississippi and in the northwestern portions of the FOX10 viewing area, seems to be dying down a little bit. It seems to be a bit less intense. In fact, in the last few frames, you see kind of the red has gone away. That doesn't mean it can't ramp back up a little bit later, but once again, no big issues there. And if you're waiting on these storms to pass, if you want to go to sleep, yeah, I'd recommend just going to sleep at this point. Just have your phone on for alerts just in case any other warnings are issued. But once again, the only warning we have right now is a severe thunderstorm warning that's just been trimmed off here, and it's for Baldwin County. So a good report here for us. We'll zoom back into the Baldwin County storms. Once again, severe thunderstorm warning continues for Baldwin County. This is near Loxley. Actually, the storm pretty much right over, or right just to the east of the Baldwin Beach Express exit there on I-10. That's going to move to the north of I-10 soon. And you see the areas of dark red into pink. That's where we could have some small hail possible with this, or maybe even some hail up to 1 inch in diameter. That's why we have this severe thunderstorm warning that's continuing for Baldwin County. Zooming out and moving to the south, we have some powerful thunderstorms that are below severe limits for places like Gulf Shores, Foley, Alberta. Now Lillian's about to get into the action there, and then eventually Pensacola will get into the action as well. Just some heavy rain stretching through downtown Foley, all the way down to Owa and the Beach Express. Some heavy rain now near the wharf as well, and the airport in Gulf Shores. Heavy rain in Orange Beach, getting into Perdido Key as well, along the beaches there. Innerarity Point also dealing with some heavier rain. It looks like Ono Island as well. Heavier rain there. But once again, all of this remaining below severe limits, which is what we want to see. Just some heavy rain, no concerns for severe weather. The only severe thunderstorm we have is the one now crossing north of I-10 with the potential of producing some hail. Checking in with our hail tracker one more time. Did look like we had some hail earlier on, as you can see in spots. So this is just to the south and west of Loxley. Our radar indicating, this is just to the east of County Road 49, that we had some hail, possibly up to 1 inch in diameter there, or maybe even larger. Questioning the hail size here, right around 1 inch there, likely. This is just to the south and west of Loxley in Baldwin County, and that's the reason why we have our severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. That all for the potential of hail with this thunderstorm that is now crossing to the north, and it looks like it has re-intensified a little bit. And you see in this purple area here, this is just north of I-10 here, north of Loxley, an area of some heavier rain and likely some hail as well, associated with a severe thunderstorm. This will continue to move off to the north and east over the next few minutes, eventually getting towards the Gateswood community and Alabama 112. In Escambia County, Alabama, along 65. This is all to the east of Bruton, but it's going to continue to move off to the north and east. So places like Castleberry and along I-65 will continue to deal with these thunderstorms. Some lightning with these heavy downpours there. Also here in Clark County, getting into Monroe County, heavy downpours about to begin in Beatrice, Franklin, all north of Monroeville. Monroeville right now getting light rain. Now we're looking into Clark County, a batch of heavier rain and some lightning here, just to the north and east of the Suggsville community. This is along Highway 84 there. Once again, no severe weather up there at this very moment. Southern end of Clark County, just south of Jackson, some downpours there as well. Checking back into southern Baldwin County. Bon Secour Bay area, still dealing with some lightning and some heavier downpours. If you are in Fairhope right now, your rain has ended for a little while. The next shot will be if we get any more thunderstorms develop ahead of the line. Otherwise, it will be the main line that comes through, which right now is looking weaker. Probably still some thunder going on, and we still have some lightning strikes being observed south of 98 in Baldwin County, where that heavy rain currently is. Our biggest thunderstorm is actually offshore right now. I want to say that's about almost 20 miles offshore. That's where it looks like our strongest thunderstorm is, besides the severe thunderstorm, which is still likely producing hail north of I-10 here in Baldwin County. Woo. Zooming in quite fast there. So this will be making its way towards the Gateswood community. It's Highway 64, or County Road 64 that intersects Highway 112, I should say. And that's the next area that we'll be seeing possibly some heavier rain and hail associated with a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for Baldwin County. Elsewhere across the area, quiet conditions for a good chunk of the area. If you're in Mobile County, you're quiet right now. Our Florida counties are quiet, but Escambia County, Florida, yeah, you're about to get those thunderstorms that are moving out of Baldwin County. And our Mississippi sections here, so George and Greene County, light rain occurring there. Some lightning associated with the line of storms. That is the main line there. And it's going to move off to the east as we go through the morning. By around 5, 6, it looks like that will be done. Once again, if you want to keep up to date with the warnings that are being issued, a great tool is the FOX10 weather app. And I just want to point this out that you can go into the settings of the app. You can go into the settings of the app and actually double check, make sure what you have turned on and off. Those FOX10 alerts are the alerts that we write ourselves, that we send out to you. It's pretty much a direct message, a direct line we have to you with the FOX10 weather app. Also check those weather notification types to make sure the important ones are turned on, like your tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to skip a couple graphics here. Here's the latest update on the tornado watch. That valid time no longer until 2 a.m. It's been extended a little bit more. I just have not had the chance to update this. But anywhere you see in yellow, that's that tornado watch, and now includes areas like Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa counties, Escambia County, Alabama, and that's going to go till about 8 a.m. So once again, we're keeping that tornado watch in place. That goes until 8 a.m., not till 2 a.m. And I want to give you a run of Futurecast real quick. The HRRR is doing a very good job of picking all of this up. So this is 3 a.m. Possibly some more thunderstorms developing around 4. 5, you can see thunderstorms still continuing, a very similar look to what we see right now. By 6 a.m. moving to the eastern portions of the area. And by 7 o'clock, most of the area, the severe threat is over. By 7 a.m., most of the area, the severe threat is over. The only places that would continue to deal with the severe threat are areas east of the main line. And at 7 a.m., it's likely that the main line will be located somewhere in eastern Escambia County, Alabama, Santa Rosa County, Florida. Areas like Pensacola will still be dealing with some of the thunder, some of the rain there. By 9 o'clock, the entire area looks to be free, and I'm telling you, it's going to cool down relatively quickly once we get towards the afternoon on your Sunday. So don't get fooled by the morning storms. It'll be a little bit warmer early in the morning. Quickly, as the cold front passes, we will clear, and I think by 6:30 on Sunday, we could even be in the 40s. So it looks like a much cooler afternoon with mostly sunny skies there. All right, so I'm going to reset this. We're going to go back to the live radar here and check in with things. Once again, we have that tornado watch that has been continued now for a good chunk of the eastern portions of our area. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for a thunderstorm north of I-10 near the Gateswood community in Baldwin County. That storm possibly producing some hail. We have some heavy thunderstorms in southern Baldwin County now entering Pensacola in Escambia County, Florida. In Escambia County, Alabama, we have some thunderstorms ongoing, but those remain below severe limits. And now moving into Monroe County, Alabama, we have some thunderstorms once again below severe limits. All right, I am monitoring the Facebook comments here on the Facebook chat. We thank you for joining us here at 2:30 in the morning. I know these are somewhat noisy storms for a few of us. That's why we wanted to pop on real quick just to give you an update. And it does look like we have dropped that severe thunderstorm warning for Baldwin County, which is a great thing to see. So it looks like we're going to wrap up this coverage at least for now. We're going to keep you updated here. Yes, we have canceled the severe thunderstorm warning now for Baldwin and Escambia County in Florida. And I'll kind of give you a little refresher. We'll go through everything. And Audrey, is Fairhope in the tornado watch? No, not at this point. Baldwin County was never included in the tornado watch. However, they did include Escambia County, Florida, Santa Rosa County, Florida, Okaloosa County, Florida, so points to the east. I'll pull that up in a second here. So big picture radar, our main line of storms to our west is weakening. We have some ongoing thunderstorms that are noisy, but all below severe limits. Checking in on the alerts at this time, we can see that we continue with our tornado watch alerts. There you are. We continue with our tornado watch for areas like Clark County, Monroe County, Connecticut County, Escambia County, Florida, Escambia County, Alabama, Santa Rosa County, Florida, and Okaloosa County as well in Florida. This will go until about 8 a.m. It's going to cancel as the line moves off to the east, as the threat moves off to the east. Shelley saying, golf ball size hail in Loxley. That makes complete sense based on the thunderstorms that we saw. And that's the thunderstorm that we're tracking that had the severe thunderstorm warning on it. But that one has weakened below severe limits since then. But definitely some hail with that one. And that was one of the threats we had. It was a lower end threat. But definitely one of the thunderstorms was able to tap into that and cause a little bit of a disruption with some hail in Baldwin County. To review the track of this storm, we had a thunderstorm that tracked through Fairhope and then moved up through Silver Hill, Loxley, and then now it's up in the Gateswood community. And it did produce a little bit of hail. Here's the hail track overall. And you can see this line, that gray and blue line, that's the hail track. Anywhere you see the blues, that's close to around an inch in terms of hail that our hail tracker can pick up. So we had some hail, possibly even some hail in Dauphin Island, but the storm tracked off to the north and east through Fairhope, so very close to the high school in Fairhope, possibly some hail around there, and then got up into Loxley, and once again, as we have seen, the possibility of some hail. If you have any hail pictures, if you were able to get any pictures of the hail, you can send it to us on fox10tv.com. And you can send those pictures in there, and maybe I can get them on in the morning newscast. I'll be sticking around through the morning for us here just to keep us going. So keeping you updated as always here on Fox 10 early on this morning. And Chris, as you're saying, it is kind of a nice lightning show, especially if you're in southern Baldwin County. By the way, not sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper, but that's what's keeping us going here. So that's the main story, and it looks like I'm going to wrap this one up. Thankfully, all the storms have weakened below severe limits. But once again, just to kind of refresh us, and I'll clear this out, all storms right now below severe limits. That's a good thing. I'll reset the camera view here. And a nice night to go to sleep with some rumbles of thunder and some light rain out there. Once again, a couple of these storms could get more energized later, but right now it's not looking too bad. So the main areas, southern Baldwin County, now Pensacola, Pensacola NAS, areas north of Pensacola, eventually we'll get some more thunder coming up here. So that's where the main storms are. Our storm that was severe warned now moving into the Gateswood community, that's going to move into northern Escambia County, Florida. So if you're in northern Escambia County, Florida, you might get a few rumbles of thunder. North of Bruton here, northwest of Bruton, in Escambia County, we have one thunderstorm that's producing a little bit more lightning. Also northern Monroe County with some thunderstorms, all of these below severe limits. Then our main line of storms entering our Mississippi counties right now, some light rain in Washington County, Greene County, Mississippi, places like Leakesville, points to the north and west are getting some light to moderate rain. That's pretty much where our cold front is And after that, it's going to start to cool down. We're going to get northerly wind behind this, and later in the day on your Sunday, it looks like it's going to be mostly sunny and much, much, much cooler. That's the story for us. I'll put this into motion as we wrap this up so you can find your community and see what the storms are doing. Also notice that the line overall weakening. We thank you so much for joining us here on our almost 3 a.m. edition of FOX10 Weather Live. You know, we typically do these at 2 p.m. during the week, but now we're doing it at 2 a.m. thanks to these thunderstorms. We'll be keeping track of it, throughout the morning. And once this severe weather threat finally exits our area, which it looks like it's very close, it looks like we will be wrapping this one up. So some light rain out there, some thunder. We're keeping track of the storms possibly going close to severe limits. We only had one that has gone warned in Baldwin County today, but that one is so far dissipated. We're going to be watching these storms very closely. We thank you so much for joining us here on our FOX10 Live. We'll be keeping you updated throughout the morning. Well, right as I wrap this thing up, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued, so we're going to go a little longer, shall we? All right, let's see what we have going on here. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Conecuh and Escambia County, Florida. The potential of hail up to 1 inch in diameter, and then winds of 60 miles per hour. Let's dive right into it. So as I mentioned, we had some thunderstorms that were up there capable of producing some hail. And there we can see on the map, see the little pinks here. That's the area where we could have some hail. This is northern Escambia County. This is going to continue to track off to the north into Conecuh County. So areas like Castleberry, you could be dealing with the thunderstorms a bit later. I'll take this full screen for you. Once again, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. This will be continuing until 3:15 a.m. for the potential of some hail, quarter-size hail, which is 1 inch in diameter with these thunderstorms. So continuing on with our coverage here, even though we thought we were going to end this briefly, I'm just going to check in on the hail real quick with our hail tracker, and we'll see what this thing is producing. We had this band of thunderstorms out there, and yes, it does look like we could have some hail. You see that gray strip there. That's the indications based on our radar system of some hail out there. Otherwise, we have definitely some heavier rain out there. Some heavy downpours. Also, you can see the lightning associated with this. This is all to the north of Bruton, so if you're in Bruton, you're not really in the polygon for this severe thunderstorm warning. It's all to your north, but places like Appleton Road, and that's going to get towards US 31. All those areas dealing with the possibility of some heavy rain and hail along Alabama 41 there, Wallace Road, the Wallace community there, likely some hail that could have happened. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, check in with other areas. So once again, the wide shot here of this severe thunderstorm warning, this one is until 3:15 for Escambia County, Alabama, and then Conecuh County, Alabama. And I want to say this is an interesting point here. You see that threat tornado possible with this. And that's something that they will sometimes issue with severe thunderstorm warnings if there is some minimal rotation. And it does look like there is some rotation with this storm, even though very, very weak. Possibly some gusty winds with this as well. This is north of Brewton. This is going to be moving into Conecuh County very soon. Some light rotation with this storm as well. And I'm going to be monitoring the feeds from the National Weather Service here and the discussions of this storm. So some weak rotation associated with a strong thunderstorm that is severe warned, possibly producing some hail in northern Escambia County and getting us into Conecuh County in Alabama. This is south of Evergreen, so if you're in Evergreen, this is not for you. This is more areas like Castleberry along US 31. This is all to the south of I-65 there in Conecuh County where this storm is moving. The potential for some heavy rain, lightning, and some hail, and the storm is lightly rotating, so they have gone with what we call a tornado possible in that severe thunderstorm warning, which is a smart decision by the National Weather Service in Mobile, since there is some very weak rotation associated with this one as well. We're going to head down to the south because I know we have some other thunderstorms that are pretty rowdy now getting into Pensacola. So areas like Orange Beach, Ono Island, all the way up to Lillian, Innerarity Point, all the way up to Grand Lagoon, NES Pensacola. That's the areas where we have heavy rain right now. That's going to move off to the north and east. So if you're in downtown Pensacola, you will be getting some heavier rain a little bit later on this morning within the next 30 minutes or so. But those storms are below severe limits with that there. And we do have our heavier storm that is offshore of Orange Beach right now, producing plenty of lightning there. And then checking in with northern Monroe County, we just have some showers and some thunderstorms with some heavy downpours, no big issues there. So once again, our main concern here is a thunderstorm north of Brewton in the Appleton community, capable of producing hail and possibly a rotating thunderstorm here, and that's something that we're watching very, very closely. Seems to have no issues right now. However, possibly some gusty winds with this storm as well as it continues to track off to the north and east. Some of the details on this severe thunderstorm warning, it's going to continue until 3:15 a.m. for the possibility of some hail and winds of 60 miles per hour with this rotating thunderstorm producing plenty of lightning. This is going to move into Conecuh County, and I think we're going to track this one out real quick. And you're going to notice the radar site is changing there. I'll try to get it back to the Mobile radar site, and I'm going to fan this one out for you. We can get communities in line. Once again, this storm is moving. This storm is moving at a rate east about 30 miles per hour. And we will draw that out with our fan tool here. I do it more east-northeast. All right, and here's some of the communities in line and the timing. This for our severe warned storm. So Appleton, of course, happening right now. Heavy rain, possibly some hail there. But Johnsonville at 3:16, Brooklyn at 3:27. So this is kind of getting you out into Conecuh County. Some of the smaller communities there. Thankfully, all these are relatively smaller communities, but yes, still some impacts for these smaller communities. Looking at some of the Facebook comments, went through it on 65 about 45 minutes ago. It was bad, that comment from Philip. Yeah, a lot of these storms, heavy downpours, that's the thing. And that's really hard to drive through. And also, if you're along the coast, we have had the issue with dense fog as well. So a couple threats there. including these thunderstorms and then also the dense fog that we have going on. So we're tracking this thunderstorm in northern Escambia County, Alabama, moving into Conecuh County, Alabama here. Lightly rotating thunderstorm as well. Thankfully, the rotation not too much of a concern. As you can see, the colors are not very close together, or not very bright, I should say. They're close together, but not very bright, indicating it's more weaker rotation. And it's continuing to move off to the north and east into Conecuh County here. Possibly some hail associated with this one as well. We're going to check in with our hail tracker once again. And you can see those areas of gray. That's around smaller hail, around 1/4 of an inch. And the live hail tracker is showing possibly some hail here, with the size being indicated around, I want to say that's approaching a little over 1/2 an inch there on our hail size. This is from our hail tracker product that we have here. Going back to the reflectivity, once again, we have a thunderstorm capable of producing some hail, now crossing into Conecuh County, Alabama, so places like Castleberry, you are next in line for this severe thunderstorm. And then checking into southern Baldwin County, or now I should say southern Escambia County, southern Baldwin County, the storms have moved off to your east. We have a strong storm that is below severe limits, but producing some heavy rain and lightning in Pensacola. That's going to move off to the north and east, so places like Milton are next in line along I-10, 110, and then 90 there. So places like Milton, Pace, those exits along I-10 there. It's a busy part of I-10 there, of course, near the Escambia Bay Bridge. Ferry Pass. If you're in Cantonment, you're just dealing with lighter rain right now, possibly some rumbles of thunder. Places like University of West Florida also dealing with some heavier rain as this storm moves in. Warrington community as well, down to NAS Pensacola. Blue Angel Parkway dealing with heavy rain. Possibly some gusty winds associated with these as well. Also, take a look at this. Very heavy rain right now just to the east of Orange Beach, Ono Island, Perdido Key, and Rarity Point. Some heavy rain and some lightning there. Also some rain in Foley as well, now stretching to Alberta along 98 there. So Foley Beach Express, all this below severe limits once again. But some heavier rain there. If you're in Mobile County, no real issues, just some light rain showers. And then our Mississippi counties and Washington County just dealing with light rain that's associated with the main line of storms with us. That main line of storms will be pushing through the area later this morning, and that brings cooler temperatures later in the day. I think we stay in the 50s through about, I want to say sunset. When we get closer to sunset, then we start to drop in temperature. We'll probably drop into the 40s by then. At least that's what some of our modeling was indicating. And then temperatures will be dropping from there. I'm telling you, overnight tonight, we're going to go into the 30s. Possibly a light freeze inland when we get to early on your Monday morning. Yeah, I know, that's a big change from what we have now, but that's what we're dealing with. Thank y'all so much for watching here this morning. Glad that y'all are sticking with us early on this Sunday morning. I know we have disruptive storms out there, and that tends to wake people up. If you want to go to sleep, you're perfectly fine. The only severe thunderstorm that we have is in Escambia and Conecuh County. Otherwise, just make sure you have your alerts turned on your phone and you can rest easy. Checking into the storms in Pensacola now. Once again, technically they're below severe limits, but as y'all are mentioning, they are quite rowdy with plenty of lightning and thunder and possibly some gusty winds as well. Please understand that the definition of a severe thunderstorm is very, very specific. Definition of severe thunderstorm has certain things. You have to have winds of 58 miles per hour or greater. You have to have a thunderstorm that's producing hail 1 inch in diameter or greater, or you have to have a thunderstorm that's producing a tornado. That is the strict definition of a severe thunderstorm. So you can have a thunderstorm with heavy rain, tons and tons and tons of lightning, and very gusty winds, but if it's not at severe limits, you don't get a severe thunderstorm warning for it. That's the definition that the National Weather Service goes with, and that's the one that we stick with. So whenever we talk about severe weather, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about those specific definitions. But a lot of time you can have impactful weather like this, a severe or strong thunderstorm moving through Pensacola here and Perdido Key, and you don't have a warning with it. You might have a special weather statement. Checking you in the Weather Service again. I got to check in every once in a while and see what's going on there. Once again, they are mentioning if we go up to Escambia County and into Conecuh County with this storm, a smart choice by the National Weather Service in Mobile. They have gone with the tag of tornado possible with this severe thunderstorm warning. And that saves a tornado warning. It saves you from issuing a tornado warning, because when you issue a tornado warning, of course, there's a lot more that comes with that. So when you say these brief spin-up tornadoes are possible in these severe thunderstorms, that kind of takes care of it there. So once again, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing hail, damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, because we do have a rotating thunderstorm with this, so possibly some gusty winds there. This is going to be moving up towards the Castleberry community on 31 there, and moving off, continuing south of Evergreen, so south of I-65, but into some of those lesser populated overall areas in Conecuh County there. We'll send you full screen on the radar once again. And we'll zoom into this, do a little inspection on this thunderstorm. Once again, heavy rain, possibly some hail about to enter Castleberry. If you're in the Castleberry community, get ready for it. Some heavy rain and hail likely there. And based on what we've seen from the reports of thunderstorms previously, it is not out of the question that we are having these kinds of thunderstorms that are capable of producing hail. So Conecuh County Road 6, Castleberry community there, that is along US 31 in Castleberry. That'll be dealing with some potential for some hail there. That's going to continue off to the east, so places like along Conecuh County 87 near Castleberry. The New Hope Church, it's to the north and east of Castleberry, and then getting towards Centerville. So the next place is in line there for this thunderstorm that is capable of producing some hail. And also it looks like we have another kind of stronger area of potential hail now moving into Wallace. Wallace along Wallace Road there, and Hammock Road. This in northern Escambia County here. This is all north of Bruton, so if you're in Bruton, you might have gotten that severe thunderstorm warning. The severe thunderstorms look to be just north of you. If you're in the far northern extent of Bruton, you're probably getting a lightning show right now. But right now, it does look like no serious issues in Bruton itself. The main issues being with our severe thunderstorms capable of producing hail along I-65 and south of I-65 in northern Escambia County, and then getting into Conecuh County there. We're going to reset. We're going to go big picture real quick to see what else is going on. If you're in Pensacola, some heavy rain right now, and it does look like the rain is starting to fill in across the area. So places like Foley, Alberta, Lillian still dealing with some heavy rain. MAS Pensacola, pretty potent thunderstorm if you're near Ono Island and Perdido Key there, also dealing with heavier rain. So if you're near Floribama, along the beaches there, some heavy rain and some thunder, possibly even some small hail with those gusty winds. But those are once again below those strict severe criteria that we have. Off to our west, we have those lighter showers. Thankfully, the main line of storms has actually weakened. That line that you see stretching from Biloxi now, or about to reach Biloxi, all the way up to, just to use some reference points on the map so it's easier, Jackson, that's southern Clark County where the line is, and then northern Monroe County near Monroeville there. That line you see at the top of your screen there, that is Highway 84. Let me point that out. That line that you see here, this is Highway 84. And our main line of storms stretches about like that. And that is the main kind of ender of all severe weather threat once that line passes. So points to the east, we can pretty much get, or points to the west, I should say, we can give an all clear. So really, if you're in Clark County, I think your severe weather threat is over with. Washington County, your severe weather threat is over with too. Greene County, George County, your severe weather threat pretty much over with. Mobile County, we can't rule it out just yet, but it's practically over. No real big issues there. Baldwin County, if we have a redevelopment of thunderstorms, there is the possibility, but that threat looks to be pretty low. Escambia County, we are still dealing with that strong thunderstorm. Escambia County, Florida, Escambia County, Alabama, we have the severe thunderstorm warning. In effect, this continues till 3:15. Also, Conecuh County, south of Evergreen, that's where our strong thunderstorm is. Oops. So 2 big thunderstorms on the board right now, one in Pensacola and then one north of Bruton near the Castleberry community, moving off to the north and east, mostly to the east. That's going to enter Evergreen, or south of Evergreen very soon. I'm going to let this run for a little bit. Thankfully, no big issues right now. The possibility of some hail, once again, in the Castleberry community. In fact, zooming in really closely there. Yes, so if you're in Castleberry, likely some hail going on there. This is Cleveland Avenue. That's US 31 in Castleberry. Castleberry, of course, in Conecuh County. North Jackson Street, also known as US 31, very near Murder Creek there. That's where the heaviest hail is right now, likely hail possibly up to 1 inch in diameter. That's why we have that severe thunderstorm warning in place. Once again, 1 inch in diameter. 1 inch in diameter there with that hail, and that is the big key there. So Castleberry dealing with some heavy hail at that time. Also keeping a close eye on the Gulf. I'm going to do a big picture here. It's a note from the National Weather Service. Severe thunderstorm over the Gulf, possibly rotating. Let's take a look at this one. So we're going to go down. This is south of Pensacola here. And aha, as you can see, those brighter colors there. That's what stronger winds looks like whenever we use this red and green product. That's the velocity. The velocity tells us essentially the winds in the thunderstorms. And as you can see, we have a rotating thunderstorm there. So with that, we're going to be watching that very closely. That is south of Gulf Breeze, south of Pensacola Beach, south of Pensacola proper, well south of Pensacola, by a range of about 20 miles. So that storm well offshore. Still some heavy storms going on in Pensacola right now, but we are watching that storm to the south there. Likely gusty winds, Chris Strickland mentioning the gusty winds there in Pensacola, very likely ongoing with these thunderstorms. All right, a quick check in Mobile and Baldwin counties. A few showers. Now, we've had some more development here of these scattered showers and storms in Mobile and Baldwin County, but overall, the threat severe-wise is looking low. Our main concerns are in Escambia, Conecuh, and then Escambia County, Florida, and points east. That's what we're going to be watching over the next few hours. And then we're going to be watching for any of these storms to redevelop once again. So north of Bruton, we have a strong thunderstorm. Castleberry right now dealing with some heavy rain and likely some hail falling there. Check in with the hail tracks once again. So with this hail tracks product, you can see the coloration, and anywhere where you see the coloration, you have the likelihood of where hail has been. So we call it hail tracks. And it's not registering the hail that is likely ongoing in Castleberry right now, but based on the track of this, yes, we are likely getting some hail in Castleberry, possibly up to 1 inch in diameter, which is consistent with the severe guidelines, hence why we have a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for northern Escambia County, Alabama, and into Conecuh County, Alabama as well. Checking in. And a quick update for us here. Tornado watch has been canceled for Clark, Choctaw, Washington, and Wayne counties. We'll check in on that tornado watch real quick. Once again, there's those thunderstorms. Looks like the storms are starting to fill in across the area, so areas of heavier rain, even though the thunderstorms itself look to be mostly in Pensacola and then just north of Bruton near Castleberry there. Switching gears here, and I'm going to check in on the alerts. So we can see the updates to the tornado watch. Notice trimming this off to the eastern portions of our area, and it does look like overall the severe weather threat, if you're in Clark, Washington, Jackson, George Green, Mobile, and Baldwin counties, very low to almost zero. We can pretty much almost give you an all clear there. We'll watch the radar trends very closely, but overall, not looking like that much of a threat. The main stuff will be for our Florida counties, Monroe, Conecuh, and Escambia County, Alabama, as well as what we're watching at this time. I'm going to take a wider view of the severe alerts and see what else is going on across the region. We have a wider tornado watch that continues for southeastern Alabama, western Georgia, and then, of course, the Florida Panhandle. The only severe thunderstorm that we have active right now, the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have active right now is for our viewing area. This is valid for northern Escambia County, north central Escambia County in Alabama, and then southern Conecuh County, all with those thunderstorms capable of producing some hail, and also those thunderstorms that were rotating earlier. And we'll check in with that. We're going to go back to the reflectivity. Once again, the reflectivity showing us rain here, and have the lightning overlay too, likely some hail. Once again, going through Appleton, which has had hail earlier. And Castleberry now dealing with hail. Likely we might get a second round if this track continues. Probably a lot of heavy rain, possibly some ponding on the road near Castleberry and Appleton, all because these storms have been kind of going over the same area recently. So likely some heavy rain, even though any flooding would likely be very short-lived. These storms just taking this kind of track, going over the same areas like this. Checking in with velocity real quick with these storms. Once again, these storms had weak rotation. This severe thunderstorm warning did have what we call a tornado possible tag with it, meaning storms are rotating and a brief spin-out tornado cannot be ruled out. But it looks like these storms have behaved so far, which is a great thing to see. Severe thunderstorm warning does continue until 3:15 for these storms, likely producing hail just north of Bruton in Alabama. Downtown Pensacola, good morning. You're dealing with some lightning, some heavy rain there. Places like Pensacola Ferry Pass, all the way up Escambia Bay here, the bridge over I-10, Brent, all the way up 110 there, dealing with some heavy rain. Can't rule out some small hail anywhere you see that purple there. Can't rule out some small hail north of the airport there in Pensacola. Pensacola International Airport. Also, NAS Pensacola dealing with some of the heavier rain. And we have a stronger thunderstorm to the south of Pensacola. Taking a wider shot here of Alabama, we can see that we're still dealing with thunderstorms. Remember, I'm using single site radar here, so I only get one section of the storm system at a time. So I'll zoom in just a little bit to make it clearer. We have one severe thunderstorm warning for northern Escambia County, Alabama, into Conecuh County. If you are in southwestern Alabama, like the Wiregrass, places like Dothan, right now no thunderstorms ongoing. Oh, a handful of thunderstorms. We did have one tornado warning that was for that region just north of Dothan not too long ago. But you are still under a tornado watch there in southwestern Alabama. So the potential for severe thunderstorms is still there. Montgomery now dealing with some heavy rain, some thunder. These storms once again below severe limits, but possibly some gusty winds. Hail likely ongoing near Castleberry, points to the south along US 31 here, and you can see I'm kind of switching between the radars. You can see the purples there. That's likely where the heavier rain is located. Appleton Road in Appleton, also Kirkland community along US 31 there, Smith Road, Mason Mill Pond Road, Old 27 Road, all dealing with the possibility of some hail. I'm getting back into the FOX10 viewing area here, deeper into the FOX10 viewing area. Pensacola dealing with a heavy thunderstorm now, but once again below severe limits, but some gusty winds likely and some very, very, very heavy rain. This is almost a summertime downpour level. And you know, it's really warm out there. Temperatures were in the 70s. All evening, so very much humid. A great environment for these thunderstorms to be in if they want to be strong, and definitely we've had some strong thunderstorms. So lightning and heavy rain ongoing in Pensacola right now. I'm going to loop the radar a little bit so we can get some perspective here. I'll zoom out just a bit. Sorry I'm moving the map around so much. And there's the loop over the last little while there. And you can see how we've got a development of thunderstorms now over Mobile, Baldwin County, ahead of the line. Everything looking pretty weak except for the one area where we had that severe thunderstorm warning. And then, of course, the heavy thunderstorms right now ongoing in Pensacola. And those thunderstorms in Pensacola will be moving into Milton. So Santa Rosa County, southern Santa Rosa County, closer to Eglin Air Force Base. Once we get into Okaloosa County, yeah, you're going to be dealing with these thunderstorms later. If you're in Fort Walton Beach, if you're in Crestview, if you're in Destin, heads up, you're going to be dealing with some thunderstorms within the next hour or so. Probably already hearing those rumbles of thunder out there. And of course, rain otherwise for a good chunk of the area. And as we indicated with what we were seeing with our rain chances on Fox 10 News at 9 last night, or tonight, I guess, we said the rain chances would increase and peak around 3, 4, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and that's exactly what we're seeing here. The models did a really good job with this one as they interpreted what was likely going to happen. All right, I'm going to stop talking for a little while, but I'm going to leave the radar up, and if we have more stuff that happens, I'll be sure to hop right back on. Once again, we thank you for sticking with us. I'm going to leave the radar loop up. I'm going to keep it live, and I'll hop back in if we have any more issues. Once again, some heavy thunderstorms moving into Pensacola below severe limits. A severe thunderstorm along US 31 there, south of Evergreen, north of Bruton, and northern Escambia County, moving into Conecuh County. That's southeastern of Conecuh County. If you're there, possibility of some hail, so disruptive morning for us. Otherwise, the area dealing with some filling in rain showers this morning with not a lot of thunder once you get to Baldwin County and Monroe County points to the west. We'll be keeping you updated. I'm going to keep this radar loop going and staying live, and we'll be giving you updates through the morning. And stick with us. We'll have more updates on Fox 10 News this morning at 7. We'll keep you updated. All right, we're going to hop back on for a second here. I've just been watching the radar, kind of regathering some things here. And it does look like this storm has strengthened. So to get our bearings straight, we're in northern Escambia County, Alabama. This is far southwestern Conecuh County. The main hail core now looks to be to the south and east of Castleberry. And it's this area that you see in pink here. Plenty of lightning also occurring with this storm. This is the line, Escambia County to our south, then Conecuh County to our north here. That's Castleberry. And if you're, let me remind myself here. Let's see. That is County Road 6. There, that line you see. So this hail core is going to be moving now. Thankfully, it's in a rural stretch of Conecuh County. The closest communities are Castleberry and Brooklyn. But along Conecuh County 6, very rural area. But this is some seriously impressive hail. It's been impressive to see these thunderstorms kind of putting themselves together here and really producing some impressive hail, which is one of the lower threats that we had today. We'll go to Hail Tracker once again and see what we have. We'll go to Instant Hail Tracker. So this is going to be the instantaneous look, what's happening right now. I've overlaid the warnings as well. And getting a sample. Now we're seeing that purple color, and that is definitely a more significant hail size here. So to sample that, almost 2 inches, and we have another little spot here around 1 inch. Now don't take this very literally. Main point indications are that in this rural stretch here in southeastern Conecuh County, we have some pretty significant hail ongoing. And let's get the perspective on where this is moving. Now this is moving off to the north and east. We've been watching these storms for quite a while now. Still moving off to the north and east at a decent rate of speed. This will be getting out of the FOX10 viewing area relatively soon. And it'll move close to places like Red Level, Gant, all of these now in Covington County, so off to the east of the FOX10 viewing area. But still rural area overall along Highway 84 in southeastern Conecuh County. But the fact that the hail is so significant with this storm, I'm going to pop back on for a second and talk about it. You can see the areas of purple. And that's the areas where we likely do have hail ongoing. This is all to the south of Highway 84. If you are in Evergreen right now, no issues there. If you are in Bruton right now, no issues there. Castleberry, you had some hail earlier, but right now it looks like this is off to your south and east, which is a good thing for you because you've already had your turn at some hail. In fact, we even had some reports of hail earlier. Checking in with a couple other sources there just to check. Looks like these are the main storms that we're thinking about. I'll give us a zoom out so we can get the wider view, see what else is going on across the area. We still have our very powerful thunderstorm that is now approaching or moving more into Santa Rosa County, so places like Milton, just to the south of Pace there, dealing with the very heavy rain. This is along and south of I-10. Here in Santa Rosa County, Pine Bluff, one of the communities coming up there. This is going to move kind of along I-10 until it gets to Crestview. So north and east along I-10 until it gets to Crestview, some heavier rain there. Can't rule out some small hail as well, especially based on the way these thunderstorms have been acting this morning. Pensacola, you are now moving out of the thunderstorms, but periods of light rain will be continuing for the next few hours. Baldwin County, periods of light rain, no severe issues there. Some heavier rain north of Bay Minette, but no severe issues there as well. Our main storm on the board is to the north and east of Bruton, where we have possibly some significant hail occurring in the rural areas of southeastern Conecuh County, near places to the east of Castleberry there. And once again, this is going to move off to the east. So Spring Hill, and then once you get into Covington County, Red Level around Highway 84 there. Those are the next communities in line for this potentially large hail that we could be seeing here. Also, excuse me, plenty of lightning, excuse me, plenty of lightning with these storms as well. This is Brooklyn Road, Mount Union, County Road 8. This is all in now eastern Connecticut County. You see those areas of purple. That's the hail likely. Johnsonville, that's along County Road 6. Once again, this is a very, very rural stretch of Alabama here. Mostly just forested area along County Road 6 there in Connecticut County. We're just going to be watching this very closely. Once again, that's the possibility of some hail, but once again in a rural area. Still have the Facebook chat going, so if you have any more questions, even if I go silent for a little while, I'm still here. I'm still monitoring the stuff, but just kind of speaking when feel the need to based on what we have on radar. And of course, we have this severe thunderstorm warning that has been continuing on for a while. We've had it, this one particular severe thunderstorm has had a history of producing hail, rolled all the way through, really started on the eastern side, or I'm sorry, the western side of Escambia County, Alabama, and then rolled off to the east there. And the storm had a history of producing some lightning, heavy rain, some small hail, and then, of course, we got upgraded to severe as the potential for some larger hail is there. So we'll keep monitoring this situation with large hail now moving into southeastern Connecticut County, excuse me, in Alabama. And then this will eventually move into Covington County out of the FOX10 viewing area, but we'll still keep track of it. I'll keep the radar loop up once again, but to refresh us, we have a severe thunderstorm warning continuing for Connecticut County there. Also now into Covington County for the potential for some large hail, some very large hail ongoing in southeastern Connecticut County. All right, your time now is 3:39 on this Sunday morning. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties in Florida with a tornado possible tag on this one. Those were those rowdy thunderstorms that were moving through Pensacola. Now they have reached severe limits. I'm going to get more information on this. I've got a couple sources that I'm looking at to see what's going on, and we'll take you to radar real quick. So I have the two warnings highlighted for us. A severe thunderstorm warning that continues until 4:15 for Conecuh, Covington, Conecuh County, Alabama, Escambia County, Alabama, and then Covington County out of the FOX10 viewing area. The main threat with that storm is hail. However, some rotation with that storm possible. And then a severe thunderstorm warning for Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties here. And this one's going to continue until 4:30 this morning. And the details on this one, as I'm reading kind of the warning itself, severe thunderstorms located along the line extending from 3 miles northeast of Navarre to 4 miles southeast of Navarre Beach to 17 miles southeast of Pensacola Beach, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. The hazard 60 mile per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. That was one of the trends with this southern storm that we saw. Definitely plenty of gusty winds with the storm, even when it was not severe warned. But now that we have a severe thunderstorm warning on it, we're going to talk about it a little bit more here. Zooming into the storm and taking this out of motion, places like Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Crestview, get ready for some gusty winds here. We're going to turn on the wind velocity product, and this allows us to tell what the winds are looking like. And we're not seeing too much in terms of very strong winds there, but it's very likely that we do have some gusty winds within this. Otherwise, very heavy rain, and can't rule out some small hail with this storm as well. The storm looks to be past the main point of Navarre there. So if you're Florida 87 and points to the west there, you have some heavy rain left, but it does not look as intense as what's coming into Okaloosa County here. Once again, that orange box you see, that is the polygon for this severe thunderstorm warning, the potential for some gusty winds with this moving into Fort Walton Beach, Niceville, Florida, and Destin in Okaloosa County there. We also have another severe thunderstorm that has been producing some hail that is now entering Covington County in Alabama. This is a relatively rural area, but places like Red Level and along Highway 84 could have the potential for some hail associated with this thunderstorm. This thunderstorm has had a history of producing hail as well. Once again, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that we do have on the board this Sunday morning. It's now 3:42. This Sunday morning. We are monitoring the comments on our Facebook live stream here. Occasionally I'm hopping off the live stream, just letting the radar run. But on cases like this, or we get a new severe thunderstorm warning or something, I'm hopping on just to comment on it here. Getting a new scan to this storm moving into Covington County. Still the possibility of some hail with this, and we're continuing that severe thunderstorm warning. And then we have the severe thunderstorm warning for far eastern Santa Rosa County and then into southern Okaloosa County in Florida here. Fort Walton Beach, Niceville, stretching up to Crestview, the potential for some gusty winds along 85 there in Okaloosa County. So if you are in Niceville, get ready for a rowdy thunderstorm to start your Sunday morning. These storms will continue to move off to the east and hopefully exit our area by around 7. At least the thunderstorms will. And then we'll deal with some light rain through the morning hours before clearing begins in the afternoon. Putting this loop into motion here so you can see where this storm has done. It moved through southern Santa Rosa County. It's pretty much stayed south of I-10, south of Milton, south of Pace. That's why it impacted downtown Pensacola. But now it's moving into Okaloosa County, the potential for some gusty winds with this storm, likely a rowdy thunderstorm out there. If you're joining us on Facebook, I know it's a rowdy morning across the area. Some areas getting storms while others are a little bit quieter and just getting some rain. We want you to chime in. I'm keeping an eye on the chat here for us just to see if you have any questions. So once again, to get our bearings, we have one storm that is severe warm that is moving into Okaloosa County, Florida. And then one storm now moving out of the FOX10 viewing area into Covington County, Alabama, places like Red Level to the north and west of Andalusia, Alabama, and Covington County. And that storm has the potential for hail, while the storm in Florida has the potential for some gusty winds. What's happening elsewhere across the FOX10 viewing area? Well, thankfully, we have transitioned to more of a light rain event with some embedded thunderstorms. Jackson County in Mississippi now dealing with a bit of a thunderstorm, so some re-strengthening of this storm along the main line. Can't rule out some gusty winds there. If you're in Mobile County, that storm will be approaching you within the next hour or so, so possibly some more rumbles of thunder in Mobile County, especially along I-10 there, Tillman's Corner, Irvington, north of Grand Bay. Possibly some rumbles of thunder within the next hour or so before these storms move on to the east. The main action right now, though, is in the eastern portions of our area where we have those 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings. Also along I-65 and a line stretching from Atmore to Bruton all the way up into Covington County, red level, if you will. That's where that storm is impacting right now. Some heavier rain there, so likely some very heavy downpours going on there. Can't rule out some small hail as well. So that's the big picture on the radar right now. We have 2 active warnings for us. One that's now moving out of the FOX10 area, viewing area into Covington County, and then one into Okaloosa County as well. Both of these have the potential for producing some gusty winds. The storm to the north, moving into Covington County, likely could produce some hail, some small hail possible with the storm in our Florida Panhandle counties there. We'll continue to watch this. That's the story right now. 2 main storms on the board, one of them producing gusty winds in Florida, and then hail moving out of the FOX10 viewing area into Covington County, Alabama. Remember, keep your comments coming so we can answer them. Thank you for staying tuned with us here on FOX10 News. I'm going to hop back on in just a few minutes to give another update on these storms. Just going to pop on for a second here. We've been monitoring this storm that is crossing or passing through Fort Walton Beach right now. Likely some heavy rain and some gusty winds with this one. Lots of lightning, and that's one thing that I was kind of looking at. I'm over here controlling the radar, by the way, so as you're watching this, I'm kind of switching between areas and just monitoring this myself. And you can see plenty of lightning ongoing right now near Fort Walton Beach. So if you're in Destin as well, Niceville, Florida, get ready for some plentiful lightning, lots of thunder there, and a brief heavy downpour. This thing's moving pretty quickly as well, around 40 miles per hour. So it's moving efficiently through Santa Rosa County and Okaloosa County here. It really quickly moved through Santa Rosa, but then now Fort Walton Beach here, Niceville, Destin, next places in line there for this storm. I want to give a wider view real quick. Couple other areas that we're looking for. We have dropped the severe thunderstorm warning now, it looks like, for Covington County in Alabama. However, if you're along I-65, if you're north of Bruton, it does look like we do have some heavy rain ongoing right now. So get ready for that there. Also, if you're in Mobile County, specifically southern and central Mobile County, possibly even, depending on the motion of this little cell, all the way into Mobile proper, we could have a brief downpour here. Doesn't look like there's much thunder with this one right now, but you see the area here of red. That's going to move just to the north of Grand Bay here. So this is I-10, this yellow line here. The Mobile Regional Airport's right there. So likely a storm that's going to be moving into Mobile County very soon, but that storm below severe limits, and in fact, no lightning associated with that storm right now. So it's about 4 o'clock here on this Sunday morning. We've been watching the storms all night. They have behaved, which is a great thing. We had some storms that did produce some hail, and actually a few reports of hail out there. A quick reminder, if you do have pictures of hail that you saw tonight or any other disruptions like some tree branches down or anything, be sure to send those to us. You can send it to us on fox10tv.com. Also, the weather app and the news app, but my recommendation would be fox10tv.com. It's a little bit easier, at least at this time, for us to get to those on fox10tv.com. The wide picture right now across the region shows a general weakening trend of most of the showers here. Remember, I talked about the main line, if you've been tuning in. Well, the main line associated with the front is right now over the western portions of the Fox 10 viewing area. So from a line from Grove Hill to Jackson, to Chatham, to Big Creek Lake, and all the way to Biloxi, points to the west there, all pretty much done with any thunder and likely just dealing with some light rain. In fact, if you're in Mobile, Baldwin County, I do think the thunder threat overall is relatively low. Same thing in Clark County and Monroe County. In fact, Monroe County, you're pretty much dry right now, only a few light showers. That severe threat's much, much lower. I think the only severe threat is really in Okaloosa County right now with that severe thunderstorm. And in fact, they're continuing that severe thunderstorm warning now. As you see, it just popped up there into Walton County. So that's the main story for us. We are still tracking this strong thunderstorm that is tracking now through Destin here, and now it's going to move into Walton County. So Fort Walton Beach dealing with heavy rain and likely some lightning there. That's going to continue into Destin, Niceville as well, then Miramar Beach, further into Walton County there outside of the Fox 10 viewing area once again. So quick details on this new severe thunderstorm warning. So that's the old warning there. And then a new severe thunderstorm warning for Walton until 4:45. That's the story there. So we're still tracking these thunderstorms out there. Most of them staying below severe limits. However, some gusty wind out there. You probably slept through most of this, which is a good thing. Not too much of an event for us, but some thunderstorms out there that we were watching very closely overnight tonight. I'm going to leave the radar loop up for us once again. Remember, we only have one active warning right now, and that is for Okaloosa County for a thunderstorm that'll be moving into Walton County very, very shortly. All right, I'm meteorologist Nicholas Robosa. We're approaching 5 a.m. now. I wanted to hop on here and just give you a closing update here. We do have some rain still ongoing in the area, but I think our severe threat at this point is pretty much done. Especially in the western portions of our area. Maybe a couple more rumbles of thunder in Santa Rosa and Okaloosa County, but otherwise it looks like we are done. That tornado watch will likely be canceled very soon. In fact, the latest updates from the Storm Prediction Center and the Weather Service, it looks like, well, relatively soon we should get the clearance of the tornado watch, and we will go from there. And then we'll have some showers that'll be possible for the morning on your Sunday. No real rumbles of thunder, and of course, no real severe risk. The radar right now is just seeing some light showers out there. Some heavier downpours, however, once you get to Pensacola here. So Pensacola south of Milton, south of Pace there. Some heavier downpours. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning earlier for this area, but that has since expired as the severe thunderstorm moved off to the east. Still some heavy rain, though, and some moderate rain. And that'll continue through the morning as this line of weak showers progresses through the area. This is associated with a cold front. Let's go to Futurecast and get this out of here. So here we go. 5 a.m. The possibility of some showers still here, but most of the thunderstorms will be off to the east. Maybe a rumble of thunder still lingering in the eastern portions of our area once we get towards 7 o'clock, but those rain chances diminishing, the severe weather threat gone, and just a few isolated showers remaining. However, winds will be turning out of the north, especially as we get later in the morning, and that'll be that cold front moving through, ushering in much cooler air and much drier air for later in the day today. And then, as we get into Monday, some much cooler temperatures. And I'm going to walk this through the rest of the Futurecast for as long as this run goes. We clear out by sunset, I think, tonight. And then we go mostly clear, looking nice by the time we get towards the evening hours on your Saturday, or on your Sunday. So that's the story with us here. We thank you for staying tuned to Fox 10 News as we had this event that happened. We had the potential for some severe storms overnight, and, well, we had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, but not many, and that was the good thing. Most storms stayed below severe limits. We had some reports of some hail out there and some gusty winds as well. A lot of people saying how the storms were very loud, especially along the coast in places like Pensacola, Orange Beach, southern Baldwin County. Baldwin County, Escambia County, and Connecticut County also saw some hail reports there. If you have any weather pictures, be sure to send them to us on fox10tv.com. We're preparing for our morning show now, our 7 a.m. Sunday morning. I'll see if I'll remember what day it is at this point. But we'll be preparing for that and some much cooler weather on the way. We're going to end the live stream now with the radar as we just have some light showers out there. We thank you so much for joining us and sticking with us, sticking to Fox 10 for your forecast. We'll have more updates on the news at 7. Thank you so much for staying with us once again here on Fox 10 News.